Tell us about the sustainability app. So
The idea of the environment, the idea of sustainability, or just like even issues that are there related to this field was something that we talked about throughout my childhood. It's not something that has just come up. There's no free lunch in this world. So I guess I just tried to create this reward system where we appreciate you, we reward you, or we incentivize you for your contributions.
tell us about the sustainability app. So like this is along with what you're doing for the senior citizens, you're also doing something for sustainability.
Right. So yeah, this is what I was going to mention is that my mother is, I guess she was a research associate at IIT in the field of environmental science and environmental studies, environmental engineering. So this is something that I feel a lot of other people probably um, missed out on in their childhood was these like dinner table conversations that we would have. Our frequent ones were about the environment. I remember this one instance. This is not about a conversation with my mom, but now that I think about it in retrospect, it's so funny to think about. Was the fact that I think in fourth grade, in my school, I built. I think I dug a hole under the ground to create a detention system for like plastic bottles to put through, because I thought that if you squeeze them way under the ground, then there's no way that they can harm the environment. So I was pretty naive then, and as I
But the
did say,
thought, right? That thought counts. That you wanted to somehow like protect the environment from the plastic.
yeah, yeah. So, but no, I think the idea of the environment, the idea of sustainability, or just like even issues that are there related to this field was something that we talked about throughout my childhood. It's not something that has just come up. And so I used to be volunteering at a lot of different initiatives, be it recycling drives, animal welfare drives, e-waste drives, and so on. So what I noticed a lot was, and I guess this is a bittersweet comment to say, was that the Dubai municipality is just so efficient, and they just take so much accountability for issues like for the environment, that they make it so efficient that they've created almost this population that is passive towards environmental engagement and civic engagement. So especially the youth, what I noticed when I turned up to these events was that there was a decreasing number of people who used to turn up for such contributions that they could make. And as I did say, the youth especially. I guess they just thought that if the government, if there's bigger organizations who have the power to do something, are taking care of it, then what purpose do I serve? I could probably just chill. I could play video games all day and just have a blast. So that is what this project aims to solve. So it's named Calliope, the app, or as some people like to call it, Calliope. It's a Greek word for the community coming together and amplifying their voices, but essentially tries to incentivize the idea, or I guess gamify the idea of contributing for the environment.
Okay.
I did realize that human tendency is, as you've heard the saying, there's no free lunch in this world. So I guess I just tried to create this reward system where we appreciate you, we reward you, or we incentivize you for your contributions towards the environment. So be it taking any actions yourself, or even for people who don't have the resources to do so, who can just join a lot of different initiatives. The app acts as a hub for them to connect with a lot of different organizations to to contribute in those initiatives.
How does the app work exactly? So let's say I'm a user. I install the app. What options do I see? What do I have to enter? What do I get?
There's two different parts of this. The first part, as I said, is making a change yourself. So we provide about like 5 daily challenges, either like plant a tree, or I don't know, recycle 5 water bottles, or don't use plastic bags or single-use bags when going to the grocery. And then there's another part to this, and obviously we do verify whether people have actually making a change or if they're just clicking that they've done this to get the rewards. So there's a system where we monitor, and we've made this, I guess, this autonomous system that can take, like, they can take a picture of what they've done, and or they can describe what they've done, and if it does pass our criteria, then we label it as successfully accomplished. The second part, as I said, is linking organizations that hold a lot of different initiatives and drives with our users. So we provide a lot of different details, like the venue, the location, the prerequisites, when it's going to happen, for what kind of people, what they're looking for, how many people have already registered. So in both of those scenarios, there is a reward system where we have partnered with a few organizations. Again, I guess for the sake of this podcast, I would be willing not to say those names. But so this is a very funny thought I had. Was initially I thought I was just very smart enough to just hand out NFTs to people. So non-fungible tokens. This was a huge talk about 2-3 years ago, but obviously now it is something that has died. So I thought through this app I could probably help bring that market back up as well. But I did realize that there's just a lot of logistical challenges with the jurisdiction and the idea of rewarding NFTs and how that would scale and how that would fund, how I'd bring the funding for that. And so yeah, we did partner with a few different organizations. So for kids, it's things like educational or like art supplies collaborations, or like merchandise, people who sell a lot of different merchandise, obviously sustainable merchandise, or in some cases like sustainably, or I guess people who have links to free trade supply chains. So yeah, they do offer things like coupons or even rewards once you reach certain milestones to people. And so all you have to do is just withdraw it, and it's there with you. S- Redeem those coupons, or in the case that they have to send something to you, then obviously they deliver it to you. But that's the entire thing behind it. All I wanted to do was create some kind of motive for people to take a change, because if that's all that takes for people to to make a change, then why not just create that system where they can do that.
So, like for the audience who are watching this right now, like what's one thing that that you would suggest they do today, like on the day they are watching right now, on this day?
I would love if you could go to the iOS or the Android store and download our app. It's called Calliope, so Kalliopi. And just have fun with the app. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me or contact our team. So you can contact me through my LinkedIn. You can just please feel free to drop me a personal message, and I would love to respond. But yeah, just have fun with making a change. I feel like people have this misconception that change needs to be something that is really huge or something that is really impactful. But even if you can make a tiny change, or even a 1%, a 0.01%, for all I care, it's still some change, and it's better than nothing. I think with a lot of pressing issues like climate change, they know no borders, no idea of bureaucracy. It's just going to affect all of us. So we can't just rely on certain people in our society to take care of these issues and mitigate them. So if we can act as a collective, we can prevent things like the IFCCC's. They released a report in the Paris conference about staying below 2 degrees increase per year to prevent climate change. So it's still not too late. To whoever's listening, it's still not too late. We can do this. All you need to do is just take a step in the right direction, and the community will be there to help you.
Arav, before we close, I do want to talk about like the future plans and what. So we've spoken about the device that helps senior citizens and their families, and we've spoken about the sustainability app here. What's the commercial angle here? Because being a social entrepreneur means an entrepreneur still. So you need to somehow bring up that commercial angle.
I'll start with the Sanjeevni, the device. Um, it's what I like to call is what I like to call our business model, or at least moving forward, is what I like to call conscious capitalism.
Conscious capitalism.
Exactly. So essentially, what it is my main aim, even though I am a social entrepreneur, is to bring these services to as many people as possible. At the same time, being an entrepreneur, I have devised a model whereby people who are able and willing to pay for these services can pay for this for Sanjeevni at a cost that is very comparable to other medical alert services. But we do have an evaluation process where people who are just unable to, and with the sponsorships and the collaborations that we've made, we can highly subsidize, or we can even make the cost of these basically zero for people who just can't afford these, especially people in elder care homes. I know that is just one of my target audiences. There can be people who live with their parents, or people who have a great life who would still like to have such a smart device with them.
I mean, think about it. Like, the people who live there, the parents who live with their children, even they. I mean, both, son and daughter-in-law have gone to work. Kids, the grandchildren have gone to school. They are alone at home. What if they fall?
Exactly.
It's not just for the people in the old age home. It's for everyone.
So that's the exact idea, is to reach as many people as possible. The way we are looking to evaluate is by just looking at a few different factors, such as, like, the pension amount, the last time their family ever maybe sent a money allowance, or just, yeah, like the financial credit score. And so based on these evaluations, if we do deem that they might not be able to afford this, then we do subsidize, or we do give the product away for free. Because coming to the manufacturing, or like the supply chain part of this, it is a relatively cheap process. So up until now, for the prototyping stage, I was the one who was designing all the units. So I'll delve into the technicality just a bit. What this system houses is a few different IoT devices. So the first one is an Arduino Nano, which is a microcontroller that basically controls and sends signals to all the other devices in our system. The second part is an MPU 6050, which is it's just a fancy way of saying a gyroscope. So that's what measures your acceleration in the X, Y, and Z axis. And so that's what we use for our fall detection system. And then we have a GSM module, which is where you insert a SIM, and that's where you can send all of your calls from, or I guess distress signals. We do have a battery pack. So the way we've engineered the system is that it can run on about 30 hours of, it can work for 30 hours before it needs to charge. And the system is very simple itself. All you need to do is remove the battery, and it's wireless. So you can charge it overnight while you sleep. And then it should be ready to go the next morning. So I hope that makes life a bit easy. And the final thing we have is obviously a buzzer in the system, which makes a sound in case they've fallen down and they're unconscious. So for them to respond within those 5 beeps, it needs to send those 5 beeps. So there is a speaker, or a buzzer, as you would say. So that comes to about $15 to $20 per unit. And there is obviously the system, a rectangular system that we house the device in, or the system in. So that is 3D printed.
The unit.
Exactly, the unit, the box. It is 3D printed. We have the design. All we need to do is print it. It's made out of resin. So that would cost us, the entire system would cost us about $15 to $20. Now, obviously, with prototyping, I had to take care of all of these of the manufacturing stage. But we have started contacting local manufacturers in India who buy all of these products in bulk and can basically achieve what they call economies of scale. They can pass it down as, I guess, a cheaper cost to us, and then in turn cheaper costs to our users. So we have talked to them, and they would be willing to take on the manufacturing, because obviously with a lot of commitments that I have I would love to work and manufacture the thing itself, because it's always great to do so. But I just might not have the time. So if they can take over the manufacturing bit, that would be amazing. We've also made the design a bit modular. So in the sense that if there's any damage, it's not the entire system that needs to be replaced. You can just replace that specific part. So let's say it's the Arduino Nano that's been damaged. That comes for about $3 a piece. So all you need to do is just replace that, and it works. So yeah, just any step where we can make the lives of people easier and a bit more affordable. That's all we've planned to do.
Amazing, Aarav. And what plans do you have for the future? Like do you have any other ideas that you're working on in the?
Right now, I'm taking my time to just observe a bit more about the world. Obviously, these are some of the projects that I am working on. I'm helping a few friends on their projects. I think the idea of labor rights, specifically delivery workers in the UAE, at least what I've experienced, is the next segment that I want to address. Um, I have a I have a vision. I don't have a certain direction that I want to go into, but I know that I've heard a lot. I've seen a lot of the injustice and the struggles that delivery workers go through. So and the legal practices in place, and people who hire them, just the unjust practices that they have in work. It's very disheartening to see. So that's something that I would like to target next. But as I say to any person, it's just about you don't have to choose a specific field. Just keep observing, just keep looking, just keep on a lookout for anything that comes your way. And again, people feel like they need to have certain skill sets. Whatever you can do best with whatever you have is always enough to make a change in the world.
This has been fantastic, Aarav. I mean, I love the innovative ideas that you have and the intention behind that. Like, you start with the intention, and that, I think, is the biggest learning for me and hopefully for the viewers as well from this interview. That you have the right intention, and then you have the skill set, so you can borrow skills to make a change.
Yeah.
But have the intention, make the change.
Right.
That's the theme out of this. Amazing, Aarav. Thank you so much for sharing your journey and your ideas and innovation with us. It's been a fantastic conversation. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me here.
So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's Aarav Trivedi, the young innovator, social entrepreneur who has come up with brilliant ideas, making impactful, meaningful changes in the world. And hopefully he will come up with much more like this. So keep watching, keep listening to the Be Your Own Boss podcast.